Hello, grade 10 and 11 students of Johnston Heights. The Ministry of Education has recently made some large changes to the BC curriculum and what courses are required in order to graduate. For instance, there is no longer a course called Socials 11. Instead, all students in BC are required to take minimum one senior social studies course in either their grade 11 or 12 year. The Socials Department at Johnston Heights is offering an exciting selection of 11 brand new courses for you to choose from. Watch the following videos that describe what each course consists of, and then choose the ones that interest you the most. Remember, you must take at least one of these before you graduate, but there's no maximum for how many to take. If you're interested in several of them, take as many as you wish. Good luck with your course selection, and here are your course options.
Hey guys, Asian Studies is an exciting new course that looks at Asia's history, culture, and environment over the past 150 years. We will explore the effects of colonialism, different ethnic and regional identities, as well as the processes of industrialization and urbanization in Asia. This includes the countries of China, India, Pakistan, Indonesia, Korea, the Philippines, and Vietnam. Among many other things, we'll examine China's revolution, the Indian independence movement, World War II in the Pacific, as well as the Korean and Vietnam Wars. Films, guest speakers, and cultural experiences will all be a part of the course. Hope to see you next year.
Human geography is the study of how humans interact with and are shaped by place and space. It is also the study of how humans in turn shape and reshape the land and environment. My hope is that if students have not already, they will be able to experience new cultures and environments both in our own community and through travel. Human geography can provide a framework to understand the diversity of the Earth, peoples, and lands. By studying human geography, students will gain a greater understanding of how cultures develop in different places, of how populations grow and move, where people choose to live and why, how and where economies develop, and how humans' interactions with the environment continue to shape and reshape our communities and world. Human geography can provide new ways of looking at population growth and decline, settlement patterns, economic growth, health and wellness, and the global community. It is a course for people who are curious about other cultures and lands, who want to make the world a better place for us all to live in.
In urban studies, you will learn about the forces that shape cities and the impact city design has on the environment and the quality of life for people who live in those cities. You will learn about the history of cities and urbanization in Canada and around the world. You will also learn about urban planning, urban design, and at the end of the course, you should be able to use critical thinking skills about the topic of urban planning as you evaluate past, present, and future designs of cities and the many interesting features that form a city.
Law Studies is a course geared towards helping students understand their legal rights and responsibilities as citizens. We will examine in detail the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms and the Canadian legal system. We will also look at criminal law and civil law, as well as laws that directly relate to you, such as your rights as workers or how to sue someone. We will have weekly debates on topics such as marijuana, prostitution, euthanasia, gun control, freedom of religion versus discrimination, or is it ever okay to break a law? We will do mock trials, film lawyer commercials, and observe an actual courtroom. If you like to express your opinions or have ever wondered just what are your rights when dealing with police or in society in general, then this may be the course for you.
Recently, have you wondered how did Trump get elected? Why do people vote for him? And what might happen under his presidency? In political studies, we will answer these questions. Political studies is the study of power, who has it, how they get it, and how they use it. In this course, we will learn about different types of governments, such as dictatorships and democracies. We will learn how everyday people can use power to create change. We will also look at how governments use power to tackle current issues like climate change and terrorism. We will cover elections, political parties and their promises, political events that shape the world, current conflicts and how to solve them, and different ways citizens can make change. To help us learn, we will engage in lots of discussion, debates, simulation activities, and games. This is a great course for anyone who is curious about leadership and how to make change in the world.
Genocide studies will take you on a very painful and agonizing journey as we explore human catastrophes that occurred when there appeared to be a complete absence of compassion and respect for diversity and life in general. Sadly, there are far too many examples of when basic decency was replaced by evil in its purest form, resulting in the death of millions of people simply because of their race, nationality, religion, or other factor. It was then that ordinary people revealed the darkest side of human nature and became perpetrators of devilish deeds. Genocide studies will delve into the meaning of genocide, the motivation of perpetrators, and the other factors that allowed these tragedies to transpire. Specific case studies will include genocide of indigenous people, the Armenian genocide, the Holocaust or Shoah, and more recent examples in the Balkans and Africa.
Comparative Cultures is a new course that will examine how cultures around the world have evolved and developed into what they are today. If you've ever felt that history in school so far has focused too much just on North America and Europe, then this is the course for you. We will examine different religions, cultural, artistic expressions, how societies are organized, languages, histories, governments, technologies, and how people all over the world meet their needs. We will go in detail about places as diverse as Vietnam, Germany, India, China, South Africa, Brazil, Japan, the Philippines, Russia, and even North Korea. If you've ever wanted to travel around the world, this course might be a good introduction on how and why to do just that.
We've known about this for decades, for over half a century. Try to have a conversation with anyone about climate change. People just tune out.
Climate change.
Climate change. Climate change. And the problem seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. The U.S. has been the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases in history.
You're a fossil-addicted country. We are doing more investment in solar today than the U.S. is.
Half the people in office still don't believe in climate change. Why do you think there is such opposition about the science? I think it's politics.
In contemporary Indigenous studies, we will examine a different worldview which focuses on family, tradition, relationships, and nature. Indigenous studies is about finding out what we can learn from a culture of people that has thrived for thousands of years and how we can use their teachings to see our world in new ways. It is also about how we can create harmonious relationships with Indigenous peoples and come to embrace their knowledge when dealing with problems that arise in society. We will not just look at Canadian Indigenous peoples, but also Indigenous cultures from over the world, like for example, the Australian Aborigines, the New Zealand Maori, or the Igorot peoples of the Philippines. The focus will be on current Indigenous issues, such as the environment, justice, culture, and reconciliation. To help us learn in this class, we will engage in lots of discussions and debates, listen to guest speakers, and get outside the classroom to experience firsthand the cultural practices and traditions of Indigenous peoples in the natural environment.
Those who don't learn history are destined to repeat it. By taking 20th century world history, hopefully you will learn firsthand why this quote is so true. In this course, you will learn how an archduke's car taking a wrong turn in 1914 is the reason why there's still turmoil in the world today. We'll cover such topics as the Great Depression, the rise of Hitler and the Second World War, the Holocaust, the Cold War, and the fall of communism, as well as more modern events such as the 9/11 attacks and the War on Terror, conflict in the Middle East today, and the resulting refugee crisis, and the conditions that led to Trump getting elected. If you have ever wondered about such topics as how dictators come to power, revolutions, human rights, wars, or even Beatlemania, then this might be the course for you.
I'm here to talk to you about social justice and why you should take it. It's an awesome course that looks at race, gender, disability, culture, poverty, etc. And so some of the things in the world that aren't perfect and the people who are working hard to make it better. We do a social justice action project towards the end of the class. We have lots of amazing speakers in the school and outside, and it's just overall an amazing course.